Get up in here. Come in. Check these socials. You know what I'm saying? See if these socials say for here. Alright, we good on that. We good on Facebook. Let's check X. Yeah, X. What else? Let's see where we at. And last but not least, the tube. Last but not least, YouTube. Pardon me. That's why. Obviously, I can't view my own video if I'm on it. I gotta. Come on, bruh. Get your life in order, cuz. All right, we're gonna start this countdown. Now that I know that we on where we on, let's start this countdown. We're gonna get into it. What's poppin', boy? What's poppin'? This your man Geechee A. Smith, the Geech, the DJ Geech, whatever you want to call me. It doesn't even really matter, to be honest with you. Y'all gonna forget by the end of the day. However, we are here. We are live. We are live with it. We are on week 7 of the NFL. I can't believe we're in week 7 already. That actually kind of makes me sad, to be honest with you, that we're in week 7. I'm kind of disappointed in that. That kind of hurts my feelings. Kind of hurts my feelings, guys, that we're in week 7 already. Like, I remember when we couldn't wait for football to be here. Now it's like, already in week 7? Really? This is what we're doing? This is what we're doing? Really? Anyway, last week, if y'all missed it, we went perfect last week. Perfect. I should have had queued up my sounds, but I don't care about none of that. We just got out of a whole hurricane down here in the Tampa area. Hopefully those that are down in this area are faring well in this. First time in over 100-something years that this area had a direct hit hurricane. Yeah, it was a little crazy. So I didn't necessarily have a show, but I did give out my picks on my socials because I was dealing with power issues with that. It's a little bit more important. But other than that, man, you know how we do live before we even get to anything. Before we anything for you like that. Little gift I got myself. I like this chain. I like it. We rocking with it. Let me set up my co-host over here, Mr. Bligier Report. Wow. Wow. All right. I just wanted to make sure, see what it looked like. Just wanted to see what it looked like, because before we do all that, we always and forever, we have to start with the fantasy starts. We got to start with the fantasy starts. We got to start where the fantasy starts with the fantasy starts. I usually don't wear my hat like this on. I usually wear my hat like this because I'm 97 years old. But I'm gonna rock it this way so y'all know what it is, who it is at all times. Bang bang, Niners gang, always and forever. Fantasy starts. I'm going with, first and foremost, I'm going with my man Kirk Thuggins. He's going to do his thing. Sorry, let me grab my notes. I'm tripping. Well, this is what happens when you miss a week. You get all rusty. You get a little rusty. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, give me 2 seconds. All right, chill. 2 seconds. Chill. Let me do my thing. Kirk Thuggins going up against that Seahawks vaunted defense that allows quarterbacks to look a lot better than what they are. But Kirk Thuggins is coming off a career year for a Falcon, I believe. Did he break that Falcon record? I forget it. But he throwing 500 something yards out there, slinging it. That's Kirk Thuggins. You're going to get 500 yards or you're going to get 500 interceptions. There's no in between. And the fact that he is playing a Seahawks defense that are 19th in yards allowed and 25th in points allowed, they let people put points up. So we're going to start with Kirk Thuggins for the start. I know y'all saw the thing. These 4 coaches will be fired. We're going to get to that. I ain't going to get to it right away. We're going to get to that because this is over. There's no way these coaches are going to make it. I guarantee it's over for them coaches. Bottom line, best believe. But we're going to start with our fantasy because we do well in fantasy. I'm in the championship almost every year. I'm always in the playoffs. Right now, I'm in the 2nd seed because people don't want to stay injured. But I am general manager of the year so far because I grabbed 2 people that people weren't paying attention to or weren't looking out for. That unless you were a fan of these teams, you wouldn't understand who they are. JP Mason, you know what I'm saying? That was a good pick for me. That he is killing it for me. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just stare. Why don't you live in San Francisco? Do I need to? People don't move. People live in the places they root for the teams of all the time. There's no San Francisco fans outside of San Francisco, right? I guess. Anyway. Kirk Thuggins going against Seattle. We like Kirk Thuggins. That's going to be the first and foremost. So rudely interrupted. Next up, we like the man Jaden Daniels. He kind of reminds me of what CJ Stroud was doing last year, just kind of taking the league by storm, playing loose, playing comfortable, has great chemistry with his weapons. T-Mac finally has a real quarterback. I thought Jaden Daniels was going to be one of the better quarterbacks out of that draft anyway. I'm not saying Caleb Williams is going to be a bum, but I think Jaden Daniels just brings a lot more to the table. So, you know, it is what it is. We like Jaden Daniels going up against the Panthers. We like anybody that's playing the Panthers. If y'all just been paying attention to this, we like anybody up against the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? anybody. Next up, we like Lamar Jackson going up against the Bucks. The Bucks defense is not doing that well. Lamar's just going to get his points anyway. I mean, it is what it is. Lamar Jackson is going to get his points. He's definitely going to get his, and especially up against a Bucks defense that are 19th in points allowed. They're 19th in points allowed. However, Baltimore is 24th in points allowed. So you know what that means. They have to put up points to keep up with that, right? So we like the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, we like Baltimore Ravens. We liked Lamar Jackson going up against the Bucks. Let's go through those three real quick. I'll only do three just to get them out the way. Bam. So first and foremost, we like Kirk Thuggins, if you have him, up against the Seahawks. We like Jane Daniels against the Panthers. And we like Lamar Jackson against the Bucks. It just so happened to be three quarterbacks. I don't always pick three quarterbacks. I just like these three quarterbacks. These are safe bets for this week. So far, we've been hitting on all the hits, and we've been hitting on all the misses. Only hit I missed on was week one with Evan Ingram so far, and that was my fault for picking anything related to Trevor Lawrence. And y'all know how I feel about the Trevor Lawrence, because about a week or two ago, we did tape on Trevor Lawrence. We do tape Tuesdays. For those that don't know what we do, on Tuesdays, we break down some tape and some films. The next one I got is it Brock Purdy or is it Brock Purdy or is it Kyle Shanahan? I'm not saying if it's good or bad. I'm just saying, is it Brock Purdy or is it Kyle Shanahan? We'll let you decide, because we're just going to watch the film and have commentary on the film. This is a professional fans podcast. I don't get paid for none of this. I just love the game of football. I played it. I coach it. I study it. Anybody knows me. I love football. This is what I do. I took this year off coaching just because I just took this year off. But I'm getting back into it next year. I'm already getting calls for the summer. I think I'll retire, but I don't know. I love coaching. I just love it too much. Or I might run clinics because I work with wide receivers and DBs as well, and quarterbacks. But mostly wide receivers and DBs. And especially on technique, route running, and things like that, because people fail to realize I coach a lot of youth football, so I'm not made to seem like I'm a college coach or an NFL coach. However, people need to put more respect on youth coaching for those that know what they're doing. I'm not going to say the ones that there just because that's all y'all can do. I'm talking the ones that have a passion for youth coaching. I specifically like youth coaching because these guys are mostly clean slates. And you can teach them the fundamentals and the right way how to do that. Usually when you get them in the NFL and D1 college and things like that, these coaches are already getting mostly finished products. They're just kind of polishing off what they already learned. Down here in youth football, we're teaching these guys the fundamentals of football. So, yeah, I might either get back into coaching or I might run clinics. So I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you posted on that. I'll let you know. You know how I do. So those are my starts. I like those guys. Who's my sit? Who are we sitting this week? Who's gonna have a seat? Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. I know Devontae Adams was faking an injury just so he can get traded. Just like Brandon Ayuk had a back injury until he got his contract. We know the game because injuries are subjective. I can't go today, coach. What's the MRI say? MRI ain't saying nothing, but it's fibromyalgia. You know what I mean? My back and my neck. Right here, doc. It's like right up in here. You can't see it on MRI. I'm sorry. It's just every time I turn around and look at your logo, my neck hurt. So, but Aaron Rodgers will not be able to blame Devontae Adams this week. And here's the thing. The Jets. Sorry, hold on. the Jets aren't playing anyone super special, but they're playing someone that can do enough to give Devontae Adams specifically fits, knowing that the things that are happening. They're playing the Steelers, and the Steelers have a dangerous pass rush, and Aaron Rodgers does not like teams with a dangerous pass rush. That's why he can never beat the 49ers. He does. He hates it. He hates being tackled. He's a pretty boy. Remember, he used to have long hair and all this other stuff. He's a California boy. All this other new stuff. I don't know where this new Aaron Rodgers came from, but he was a golden boy. He don't like being tackled. None of that. So that pass rush is it's not going to be what you think it is. The pass rush is going to be what you think it is, and that connection, Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams, is not what you think it's going to be. Next up, who we sitting down? Sam Laporta. We're sitting down Sam Laporta. I know he always gets his. He always gets his money. However, they're going up against a nice Vikings defense that's going to give Jared Goff some fits. Does that mean they're going to win or lose? We'll know. You'll find out in these picks when we get to these picks. Because each of these picks are going, when I get to the picks and the team that I'm talking about, that's how you're going to know the coach that I'm saying is going to be fired. Because it's at least 4. It's probably more, to be honest with you. It's probably going to be more than 4, especially if a certain coach says he wants to come back. That's going to open up a lot more doors as well. So we're going to sit Sam Laporta is behind down because that Vikings defense and Flores is going to do some things for that. And then who else we're going to sit down? We're going to sit down DK. DK Metcalf. So same reason, Kirk Thuggins is going to do his thing on offense. I think that the Falcons have one of the better pass defenses in the league. And DK usually doesn't like good CBs, good press CBs, because he's the one-trick pony. All he's going to do is just run down the field fast. That's all DK can do is just run down the field fast. I remember he put that commercial out like he was running routes and doing all this route tree, and his hips were stiff paws. But sit his behind down. So we're going to show him again. Ironically, just so happen to be pass catchers. Doesn't always work that way. Just so happen to work this way. But Sam Laporta, of course, is the odd man out because he's a tight end, but he's still a pass catcher. So we're going to do Devontae Adams. Sit his ass down. Sam Laporta. Sit his Laporta down. And DK Metcalf. Sit your ass down. I don't like the Seahawks anyway because I don't care. I'm supposed to like y'all. All right, this is what y'all really came here for, potentially, if you've been coming here for this. But you also came here to see which coaches I think are getting up out of here. But they're all going to be intertwined because I'm going to be picking the games, and then I'm going to be letting you know which coaches are going to be up out of here, right? Up out of here. Ain't nothing but a gangster party. All right. To the stage, my man. The Bleacher Report. Why did I use the Bleacher Report? Just because of the formatting. Because it shows you the over-under and it shows you the points. I don't touch the over-under on this one, on this show specifically. I used to, and it brought my averages way down there, Skip. So I stopped doing it because I'm not good at it. At least I can admit it. Y'all be out here pretending like y'all great at everything. The new NFL is too weird with these refs. And they play with these spreads too much because the NFL now understands gambling is a thing. So I would stay away from these over-unders. Boy, I stay away from the over-unders. I do straight up picks personally, but I also pick against the spread for you guys so you can know which one I'm picking. I'll give you my suggestion on over-under, but when I give out my pick, I give out the pick specifically against the point spread. Like I said, I'm not that good with the over-under luck because it ain't nothing but luck, right? It's either A or B. You have a 50% chance of getting it right. It's luck. It's luck, but it's educated luck because I'm doing the research for you guys. That's why it's educated luck. And that's why we were perfect last week. I'm going to harp on that. We were perfect last week. Perfect already. Let's get it. And the week before that, we had what? We only had 2 losses. The week before that was nasty work. We were like 8-8 or something like that with all 16. It was a nasty week. Niners lost to somebody they weren't supposed to lose to. Oh, was that the Patriots? It was just a nasty week. Nobody beat who they were supposed to. Vegas loved that week. They ate that up. They ate that week up. But this week and these coming weeks, teams are really starting to separate themselves. The extended preseason is over, and now teams are really starting to show who they are. Speaking of teams starting to show who they are, and coaches are probably going to get fired. We got the Broncos 3-3 against the 2-4 Saints. The Saints started off as the hottest team in football the first 2 weeks. That's why you don't count the first 2 weeks. This is not the same team from the first 2 weeks. Now they got Spencer Rattler back there being just as mediocre. And it's not his fault. What's he supposed to do? He just started playing football yesterday. So, however, that is no longer going to be a viable excuse. That usually spells certain doom for coaches if that rookie comes in and he doesn't do well, specifically when the coach has been there for a few years and his time is about running up. Their general manager's time might be running up as well. It might be time to clean house in New Orleans. To be honest with you, it might be time to clean house. They're still holding on to the golden years of Drew Brees and Sean Payton, and I think it might be time to clean house and just blow that thing up and start all over. If you believe Spencer Rattler is the guy, come in somebody that's going to really put a system together for him. I don't know. It's the coordinators. It's the head coach at least. I think I actually like the offensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator looks like he's doing his thing. However, the head coach has always been known for defenses, and their defense has been trash. Complete hot butter garbage. So might be a situation, if they keep going this way, they might get rid of him and have the offensive coordinator doing like the Jets. Spoiler alert, one of my original ones was the Jets. I knew Robert Saleh wasn't going to make it after that hug gate with Aaron Rodgers. I know Aaron Rodgers runs the team. That's why he wanted out of Green Bay, because he was no longer running the team. He's a head case. He's a narcissist. But with that said, because the Saints are continuously getting money, not getting money, actually losing money, but getting money if you bet against these bums. We rocking with the Broncos. Drake, man. Bo Nix, who Colin Blowhard said was better than Brock Purdy. How is he better than Brock Purdy in his sixth, seventh game ever in the NFL and doesn't do anything better than Brock Purdy yet? Doesn't have any better statistics, nothing better than Brock. How are you just better? Brock Purdy gets so much unnecessary hate for no reason, and it's because he's a 7th round pick, because they hate to look wrong. They hate to be wrong. That's narcissism. These people hate to be wrong. Hate to be wrong. They went around the block with all that Brandon Ayuk stuff. Like they hate to be wrong. They want to be the top echelon of things. We don't care about none of that. We just come in here with objective opinions. Objective opinions. You like that? Educated opinions. You know what I mean? Educated opinions. We actually watch film. We actually played football. You know what I mean? We probably still could play football. Man, I wish one of these young bulls would. Boy, I'm trying. Man, listen. I'll break a hip in a heartbeat. Now, in all seriousness, we like the Broncos up against the Saints. Yep, no more to say than that. Next up, we're gonna spend a lot of time on it. You know how I do. I don't spend a lot of time on bum teams. I do not spend a lot of time on bum teams. I really don't. I really don't. Next up, hot butter garbage game of the week. You got the Jags. Jags so trash. They about to send them overseas. This is their second overseas game this year already, I believe. But they do it every year. There is rumor has it they will be the London team potentially, but that's just a rumor. But it seems like they will be. Maybe they'll win over there. Um, because the Trevor isn't getting it done in Jacksonville, bruv. Um, Not only that, bruv. I like I said, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on a garbage game. I don't like. Now here's my dilemma. I think I'm gonna hold off on calling Dougie P getting fired. He may be one of the ones getting fired. Dougie P may be one of the ones getting fired, and it's because of Trevor Lawrence, unfortunately. Because he said he can fix him, he can do that. We're talking about Dougie P that won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. He made Carson Wentz look viable. I don't know the Trevor. He don't. I don't know. Dougie P finna get fired just because Trevor is a first pick. That's why Dougie P is finna get fired potentially. It's hard for me to pick him concretely, but I'm going to concretely pick the Patriots at that plus 5. The Jags are going to win. I'm not saying the Jags win. What I'm saying is they're not going to beat them by 5.5. I think Drake May is going to have a little bit more respect on his name as a better quarterback in that game. But I think the Jags are going to pull it out. I think they're going to win by field goal. That is my guess. Don't beat me up. Don't take these things for face value unless you win. I guess we know what's going to happen with that one. It's a garbage game anyway. Yeah, 2-4 Bengals versus 1-5 Browns. Yeah, I mean, I think the Browns are going to get closer because they always play them tough. That defense is going to give Joe Burrow a little bit of fits, as it always does. I don't think they're going to win. I think the Bengals win, but I just don't see them beating the Browns. These are trap games. Trap. Speaking of coaches that are going to potentially get fired, one of these coaches will be fired. Absolutely. Probably both of them. If we keep it real, they both probably should be. What happens every year, the Bengals make a late run, and Zach Taylor gets spared another year. This is running out. Kevin Stefanski, same thing. That it's over now. They're not even good enough to make the playoffs. They had hope. General manager, owner, my quarterback Deshaun Watson was hurt. And then the next year, he was just getting into the system with something wrong with his shoulder. Now what's wrong with him? He ain't out there nipping and tucking. That's why. He ain't playing loose. This is what happens when you hit your wagon to Sandusky and Diddy Watson for a quarterback. That's the problem. When you just throw morale out the window, you put that stink on your organization. This is what happens. Y'all smell like Browns now. Like, and both of these coaches are probably up out of here. Specifically, Cleveland, but probably both of them. Next up, we got the Colts versus the Dolphins. If Tua didn't get hurt, I think Mike McDaniels might have been out of here as well. But Tua getting hurt saves him because they're good when he's in. They're not when he's not. However, it gets old after a while. But I think they give him one more year. I think they give him one more year. But we are talking about Florida. And we're talking specifically about their owner. And no matter how much Mike McDaniels is passing, use blacking. So I think they give him one more year. But I also think they're going to lose to the Colts. Joe Flacco, University of Delaware. Used to be down there in Delaware, Newark, Delaware, down at the same time Joe Flacco was there. Yep, early 2000s. I just dated myself. All right. Now y'all know how old I am. I don't care if that matters. I like to coach over the Dolphins, if that does matter. Next up. Hold on, let me get myself up out of here. Let me see. No, I don't want that. You just go on. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. That one's better, so you can see it more. My fault. I was in the way. My bad. I'm tripping. So we got the Eagles and the Giants. They usually play each other well. You know, you always got your New York versus Philly beef, cheesesteaks versus Tim's, beef and broccoli versus shaved ribeye and onions. You know what I mean? We got the Bulls versus the kids and the sons versus the Jones and the mothers and herbs. Yeah. Chopped cheese versus the cheese steak. You want ground beef or you want shaved ribeye? I've had both. And just because I grew up in the Philly area, it don't mean anything. I'm a foodie. That chopped cheese ain't nothing but ground burger, my guy. You ain't did nothing but smash the burger up and just added cheese to it. It's just a messy behind cheeseburger. That's all it is. Cheese steak, on the other hand. I just went there. I'm sorry. Cheesesteak, on the other hand, is magnificent. I'm sorry. It's made by Jesus himself. Anyway, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on a hot butter garbage game, as always. But here's the thing. They play each other well. But the Giants still have Daniel Jones as their quarterback. And Brian Dable as their coach. He's definitely getting fired. Y'all just gave Daniel Jones like $60 million. Y'all all gone. All of y'all are gone. Are you shitting me? You gave Daniel Jones like $90 million a year. Like, you gave Daniel Jones. Everybody else in the league knows he's horrible. Y'all gave Daniel Jones $560 million a year. Y'all are going to jail. You're not even getting fired. You're going to jail. You need to be arrested for stealing the state of New York's money. Y'all stole from them. Y'all need to go to jail. All of y'all are going to jail. He's up out of here. That's one of the coaches up out of there. It's at least 4 coaches. Probably it's about 5 this year. It's going to be so many. This might be one of the biggest coaching exoduses we've had. But matter of fact, anybody know that? Anybody can put that in the comments. Anybody know what was the year the most amount of coaches was fired? I'm gonna look it up real quick before if y'all don't find it. Record. And that was tied in 2021. I thought 2021 had a lot. 10. That's crazy. Might be close this year, boy. It is a lot of them. It's a lot of coaches up out of here this year. It's a lot. Matter of fact, they both might be up out of here. Both of them boys might be up out of here. Nick Sirianni, how are you chirping at the Eagles fans? I get that's what your problem is. You ain't built for that. You don't understand that that's how Philly rock. And you the coach and you chirping at your own fans. You dumb, boy. That's suicide. That's suicide. That is the worst fan base to have to be turned against. Are you dumb? Even if you win a Super Bowl, if they don't like you, you're out of here. Jeffrey Lurie don't play that. Are you dumb? People are just dumb. I don't understand. What goes through your mind talking trash to fans? That's what fans' jobs are. That's what fans do. They talk trash. Your skin is thin, is it tender? Is your skin a little tender? You probably shouldn't be coaching them, bro. Probably shouldn't be coaching. Y'all gonna win. You ain't gonna win the division though. Jay Daniels down there, Dan Quinn down there, real coaching. Real coaching. Real coaching. That's what Jalen Hurts needs, unfortunately. Jalen Hurts needs real coaching. He has the intangibles. Now, he might not be the best leader because he's a little emotional. But he has the intangibles to be a very good quarterback because he showed it when he had a coordinator that was playing to his strengths. He could be a very good quarterback. So that's on you, my guy. It's on you, my guy. Next up, we got the You Lie versus the Vikings. Vikings are playing very well. However, you see that 1.5? Because Vegas knows something that few of us know. Their quarterback is Sam Darnold. It's like having Jared Goff. Your quarterback's Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, the Vikings are winning in spite of Sam Darnold. So the Vikings are utilizing the 2019 San Francisco 49ers formula right now. Banging behind defense, shut everything down, and a quarterback that please just don't turn it over. That's what they're using. Quarterback, they're like, please. Because the only reason Sam Darnold was starting is because J.J. McCarthy got hurt. If J.J. McCarthy was running his team, I might have more concern about the Vikings because it's Sam Darnold. Now, he was playing well in the beginning of the year, but he's starting to be Sam Darnold because that's what Sam Darnold does. He's Sam Darnold all the Darnold time. All the Darnold time he does it. And it's getting darn old. By gummit. In all seriousness, I like the Lions. You see what I did that? It was at 2.5. Now it's only at 1.5. And I just did that earlier. I really like them because I like them to win. So 2.5, 1.5. You see, I had it at 2.5 because that's when I did the research. It was at 2.5. I'm going with the 1.5. I rocks with the 1.5. I think they're gonna win. Next up, Seahawks, Falcones. Seahawks versus the Falcones. Which one's going to be the better bird of prey? I think. Remember my fantasy pick. Hold on. Let's make sure I went over those coaches. Okay, those coaches are probably going to stay. Yeah, and I think I like what the Falcons are doing. They were my preseason sleepers to win the division because of Kirk Thuggins. I think they were just a quarterback away at one point. So they're a very solid team. They're a very solid team, and I think they still may win that division because of their defense. And as long as Kirk Thuggins ain't turning the ball over, they do well for themselves. So we gonna rock with. What was that 3 now? When I did this earlier, it was at 2.5. Because they see what I see also. The Falcons is probably gonna win. We like the Falcons. We like the Falcons. Falcones. Next up, we got the Texans versus the Packers. It's gonna be a very good game. I'm very intrigued by this one. Especially because earlier it was at 2.5 in favor for the Packers, and now it's at 3. Very intrigued by the tale of two teams that this game is gonna let you know what each team stands for on which side, on both sides of the ball. Both of their defenses aren't playing up to what the standard that it should be or could be, but both of their offenses are playing pretty lights out. Now, maybe the fact that I think Nico Collins is still hurt or potentially hurt is that the Texans are not the favorite because Nico Collins is playing like the best wide receiver in the league right now. But Jordan Love is playing crazy right now, too. So is CJ Stroud. I like this matchup. I like this one. But because of run game and defense, I'm going to have to go with the Texans on that. Y'all giving them 3 points. I think they're going to outright win. I don't care if they're playing in Green Bay. Playing in Green Bay is not like it used to be. CJ Stroud is a baller. He's a winner. We're going with the Texans. Next up, we got the Titans versus the Bills. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this game. Titans bad, Bills good. Bills 9. I'm not. For what? Titans bad, Bills good. Same thing with this. Commanders good, Panthers bad. I mean, but Commanders got like the number 2 offense in the league or something like that right now. Yeah. I mean, and the Panthers are 32nd in defense. Yeah. Not spend a lot of time with that. That's not what we're not going to spend a lot of time with this either. This was at 7. Now it's at 6.5. They don't even know what they're doing with this because it's trash. Who cares? They only play it because they have to. 2-4 versus 1-4. So this used to be a good battle when they were both in Los Angeles. But I just can't. I can't. I'm interested. I like the Rams. Speaking of coaches getting fired, got to mention this guy right here. That's going to start getting old. Getting there and losing to Mahomes will make you lose your job sooner than later. Oh, but he gets to the only one that has that type of pull is Mike Tomlin, where you can win consistently like that and not do anything because he has mediocre quarterbacks. But you have Josh Allen, and they're going to be done with those excuses after a while. Antonio Pierce losing the locker room already. He did trade Devontae Adams. He might be a one-and-done coach. Unfortunately, you know those former players that players guys. They love it. We love the locker room and all that. Yeah, the locker room loves you until you stink. Then it's time to take a shower. Like the locker room only going to love you while you're winning or you're doing some good. y'all don't look like a team with a plan. Y'all had a whole off season. You came in with some mojo from last year to finish off the year and all these other things. But now, what was your plan in the offseason? Your strategy for the draft was trash. If that was a strategy you gave your GM, then it was trash. If your GM didn't consult you in your strategy, then it's trash. One and done. That's what it speaks to me. It speaks one and done. Sean McVay might be leaving as well. Only because, remember, he was contemplating retirement. He might be just over it. They sold the farm for their one championship, and that's all they got. They might be going as well. They might be getting a new start. They might be getting up out of here. I didn't put that one in there, but that's why I only put 4. But, yeah, both these coaches might be up out of here, too. This might be a game of coaches that's up out of here. These coaches might be playing for their jobs this week. Jobs? Talk about jobs, Mr. President. I don't know, Mitt Romney said they're talking about jobs. That's all he said was jobs. I'm about jobs. Try to be one of the guys, bro. You're a billionaire. I'm about jobs. You ain't never worked a day in your life. I'm about jobs. I love when billionaires talking about, man, I'm about jobs. For who? People in your plantation? Next up. We're going to save that one for last. We're going to save that one for last. We're going to save it for last, okay? You guys all right if I save it for last? Oh, yeah, let's save it for last. That's going to be a good one. What's that? The soup? That was the... Let's save it for last, okay? Yeah, let's save it for last. That's a goodie. Because the rest of these games are trash. We got the Aaron Rodgers versus the Mike Tomlins. This is one of those games that make you go, because I don't think the Steelers are as good as their 4-2, and I think the Jets are better than their 2-4. So it's like they both probably should be 3-3. If we're being honest, if we're being honest. They both probably should be about 3-3 or both 2-4. I don't know. However, Pittsburgh's at home. I mentioned earlier, Aaron Rodgers does not like a good pass rush. Mike Tomlin is going to key in on Devontae Adams. I like them to pull it. I like them to pull it off. Kind of like when you first. I ain't going there. Look at y'all. Get out of here with that. Y'all play too much. Play entirely too much with me. Next up, we got the Bucking Ravens. Battle 2 4-2 teams once again. The Bucs are a team that's like, yeah. Literally, even just last week, tale of two teams of the Bucs. Baker Mayfield, threw 3 interceptions, 4 interceptions, something like that in the first half. Come back second half, threw like 5 touchdowns and no interceptions. That's Baker Mayfield. Their defense hasn't been playing that well. Depending on what they do with playoff-wise, Todd Bowles, you might be about to hit 2, brother. But yeah, you're about to hit. You probably gone. This is your last coaching gig. You too nice. You're a nice guy. You don't never say much. Well, we lost, bro. I need a plan, not concepts of a plan. John Harbaugh, on the other hand, Ravens, he's probably there for life. He's good. He's too charismatic. He's too great of an actual leader of men. He's too good. He got a championship. He ain't going anywhere. Ravens team, tell us 2 teams there playing crazy right now. Zay Flowers, crazy right now. Lamar Jackson, crazy right now. Ravens, winning that John. That's why they're favorite. And they're gonna be playing in Tampa. What? I might have to go to that.
I didn't even know it was in Tampa. I thought it was in Baltimore. I might have to go to that joke.
I might have to go to that. I might have to see Lamar Jackson. I haven't seen Lamar Jackson play in real life. I might. Especially after this hurricane, feel a little good about myself, do something. Got the house. It might be hot though. This Florida, it's always hot. I don't know. We'll see. I might have to go to that. I don't know. I might see Lamar Jackson put the clinic up, boy. I might have to see him put the clinic up, especially at 3.5. All right, next up. Second to the last game, because it ain't the last game, because we're coming back to the last game, which was the game before the last game. Boy. Especially because this one's trash. I hate when they put 2 Monday Night Football games. Like, everybody's watching this one, right? Duh. So yeah, I'm not going to this game. It's a Monday night game. It's my bedtime. I'm gonna be Pop gonna take his teeth out and take him a nappy poo. Who are you kidding? 8:15 kickoff. That's where I'm gonna be taking my off. Like, are you, man? I'm going to bed. Pop going to bed by halftime. So y'all let me know how Lamar Jackson did the next day, because that's what y'all do anyway. Y'all like to text me when my takes are wrong. I wake up to 27 text messages at 4 o'clock in the morning because I go to the gym ready to knock y'all mofos out. But, you know, I might watch that game, though. But I know ain't nobody watching this game. Are you spitting me? People on the West Coast will probably watch it just because it's going to be, 6 o'clock in Arizona. And 6 o'clock in LA. But even even Cardinals and Chargers fans are probably still gonna be watching the Ravens and the Bucks if we keep it in the buck. Just because I have to pick a team in the game. This was at 2.5, so I'm gonna change it. But I'm not even gonna spend a lot of time on this one. I like the Chargers. I like the Chargers. Now, this John right here. Ooh-wee. Super Bowl rematch. Kyle Banana Hands has never beat Chandy Reed. Kyle Banana Hands. Come here. Hold on. I'm gonna put him back. Come here. Kyle Shanahan has never. He's never beat Chandy Reed. Chandy Reed owns Kyle Shanahan right now. Anytime Kyle Shanahan wants to go to the bathroom, guess what he got a text? Chandy Reed. If he wants dinner, you know who makes it? Chandy Reed. When he sneezes, you know who says bless you? Chandy Reed. So you think I'm going to pick the 49ers knowing that Kyle Shanahan has never beat Andy Reid? Of course I am. like an idiot? Yes, I am. Because the 49ers consistently do this to me. I believe in you guys every year since 1994. I was the young bull, South Brandywine Middle School. Touchdown, Super Bowl. Well, I didn't know what losing the Super Bowl was. What? Are you kidding me? He was 5-0. Steve Young got the monkey off his back. Deion Sanders pick 6 in Atlanta after they let him go because they didn't want to pay him no money. San Francisco's like, we'll pay you that money. He's like, watch this. He going to Atlanta, pick 6. As he's running it back, he's looking at him like, what? That's the 49ers I remember in Super Bowls. Kyle Shanahan, yeah, no, I don't like Kyle Shanahan. I am not the biggest Kyle Shanahan. Offensive genius? How? You have to put up points to be an offensive genius. You know what? You don't really scuffs my Tims. Kyle Shanahan in 10-point leads. That's what really scuffs my Tims. How are we in the fourth quarter of games and don't feel secure? We're the only team in the league that could be up 10 points in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl, playoff game, regular game. It doesn't matter. He just blew one recently, and he almost blew another one. Like he doesn't know how to close game. He's not a closer. If we worked in a restaurant, he'd be the opener. You know what openers do? They leave mess for the closers. Analogy doesn't even make sense. That's how mad I am. That's it. My Tims are obliterated. Like, I don't even have Tims anymore. I got soles of boots. Can't stand it. But I still love the 49ers and we're going to beat the Chiefs. Let's get it. Kyle Shanahan, don't let me down. My life is in your hands because if you mess this up, brother, and you make me look bad, so help me, Bob. I'm just keep rooting for the 49ers every week and probably buy a new hat to cope with the loss. Anyway, let's run through these picks real quick because we're about to get up out of here. All right, fantasy starts. Who we rocking with? First and foremost, who did I say? Kirk Thuggins. We rocking with Kirk Thuggins. We're going to take this out. And we rocking with Kirk Thuggins. We like him against the Seahawks. Who else we like? We like anybody going against the Panthers. Jaden Daniels is going against the Panthers. Lamar Jackson lights it up. This is his time of the year. This is when Lamar Jackson shines, and this is where he starts to have you talking about MVP racing and things like that, and no better game than to come down there in Tampa and hurricane it up after we already just got ran through with a hurricane pause. Who we sitting down? We sit Devontae Adams down because Aaron Rodgers is going to use him as another excuse to lose. We think Mike Tomlin's going to, do his thing a little bit, temper those things, have a seat there. Sam Laporta. Vikings defense is going to have you sitting down. He's going to give Jared Goff fits because Jared Goff does not know how to read a defense. Have a seat there, my boy. And, one trick pony. Have a seat in that stall for a couple of seconds, a hot minute. Have a little seat there, my guy. And then for our weekly picks, run through them real quick. Broncos Saints, battle of a team of one of these guys ain't going to have a job. Ain't going to have a job. Patriots, we like y'all. But you ain't going to beat the Jags. You ain't going to beat them. You just going to have the points. Browns, Bengals. Browns are going to get that 6 points. Bengals are going to win, though. Bengals are definitely going to beat them. And then next one, I'm sorry. Colts over the Dolphins. We like it. Colts over the Dolphins, we like them. We like them. Mike McDaniel, hopefully you have your job by the end of the season. I don't predict you to lose it yet, but you never know because you're in Florida. Eagles over the Giants. As long as Daniel Jones is the quarterback, we will never pick the Giants. Lions and the Vikings. I like the Lions. I think they're a better team than the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to start to slowly decline. It's that time of the year where they lose their 4 or 5 games because it's not the beginning of the year anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. It's all right. We like Kirk Thuggins to handle the Seahawks. Birds of prey. The Falcons are better. I think CJ Stroud's going to make me proud going up there in Green Bay and Swiss cheese those heads. Pause. Bills good. Titans bad. Commanders good. Panthers bad. Both mediocre. Rams win. Mike Tomlin's going to have Aaron Rodgers throwing fits. Lamar Jackson's going to do what Hurricane Milton did to Tampa Bay. Chargers, they're going to charge it to the Cards. It'll be negative 2.5 in your account, baby. And then it's gang all the way. Super Bowl Remax Redemption Tour on the way. You see what that has to say. That's your boy. Holla at me. Until next time, that's your weekly picture. This OG is DJ. And once again, the biggest geek in the world. I holla at y'all. But until next time.